Well, you may have seen him earlier giving that ultimatum, 7 days to FG and ASU to resolve the issues. He joins us this morning on the program, Sunday Ashafon, the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students. Well, thank you for joining us on the program. Well, we saw you giving that ultimatum, but that was before ASU and FG finally had a meeting. So in the light of this negotiation that has been opened yet again, what happens to that 7-day ultimatum?
Thank you so much. My name is Comrade Sunday Adedayo Ashefon, the president of NANS. As we can see, the meeting of the federal government and the ASU as at yesterday, which we are reading on the social media, you can see the meeting ended in a deadlock. Nothing was achieved, and you can see the ASU president insisted that their member is resolute, that they are not ready to shift grant until their demand is met. And like I've said, and I'll always say, that when two elephants is fighting, the grass is always suffer it. ASU said they are not shifting grant. What is the outcome of the federal government? The minister came out. We said before the 1-month warning strike, that hopefully the ASU will call off. That is what he said. So it doesn't have anything to do with our ultimatum, except if they are going to meet today again, or probably tomorrow or Friday. If we have not seen a concrete decision between the federal government and ASU, or ASU addressing a press conference, the way they did a week ago, that they are backing on a strike, and they did. If they fail to do that by Saturday, Sunday, with no press release from ASU that Nigerian students should go back to school, automatically we have no choice to embark on what we have said earlier. So it's sacrosanct that Nigerian students, we are resolute to tell the government that it's high time they take our life serious. It's high time they take education in this country serious. And I think it's a bedrock of any society.
Right.
Nigerians should borrow a leaf from Singapore. Nigerian government should do something not to, continue, bastardizing our education sector. I'm saying it. Our primary and secondary education in this country is no place to go. It's only the children of the poorest that can go there. As I speak to you today, I don't pray. I don't know if the government changed. That I will now send my child to a public primary school or public secondary school. Even most of our lecturers, they don't do that. You can see students are angry. They are so, they are disappointed at this moment that after the 2020 ASU strike that lasted for 9 months, and with the COVID-19 pandemic, students coming back to school, we have lost a lot of things. Students,
good position to be in.
Preparing
clearly.
that, okay, those who have means, believing that this 2022, even most of schools, they believe they are going to cover up. Now, imagine ASU strike again.
Okay, let me put this in.
Students that they are not happy.
Let me put this in. It's never a good position to be in. I mean, and this happening successively. But I know you spoke to this during that meeting, or after the meeting you had in Sokoto with the governor, and you said that, well, strike should not always be the solution. So I was sort of wondering that, what's your reading of this, and what position are you taking? Are you saying, well, government has to answer ASU whether or not there is funds available, or you're asking ASU to understand and step off the strike? Who are you backing in all of this? Because it appears as though you are, I don't know, taking both sides.
I've said our government should be responsive our government should be sincere. I cannot hold ASU responsible for this. Like I have said, even though ASU has their own, but you look at it, 30–40% of what ASU is asking for is for the benefit of Nigerian students. And we are calling on the government to swing into action by implementing the agreement. So all these industrial action can be put aside. Look at the polytechnic lecturers are also threatening to embark on strike. And if you look at all these, it's affecting us. It's not affecting them. If ASU is on strike for 2 years, their salary is going to be paid. If federal government headed by who is representing the federal government, the Minister of Labor and the Minister of Education, who happen to be the supervising minister, their salary, they have, everything belongs to them, will be given. But for the student who has lost a semester, for students who have paid for house rent, who the house rent cannot be refunded, no compensation from the government, neither the school, students who believe after graduating, he wants to go and serve his fatherland, and the 30 years age limit is there. If it's one day, if you go to the portal of NYC, it won't allow you to go, then such a student, his dream has been cut short. A lot of students who has planned his life, a lot of things has happened. So on this, we are saying we are confronting the federal government. When we issue a statement that every federal road should be blocked, federal road does not belong to ASU, neither it belongs to any university. When we say we are going to the office of the Minister of Education and Labor, these are not office of ASU
Comrade, let me ask you
this.
Union. Well, the issues you have raised most certainly are germane, but what is the understanding or reading of the National Association of Nigerian Students about the revitalization fund that the ASU is asking for, among other things? How significantly, in your opinion, are students affected or not affected by that demand of ASU?
Thank you so much. Like I've said earlier, 30–40% of the demand of ASU is for the benefit of Nigerian students. You have left university for a very long time, I'm sure of that. You can take your time and go back to our schools or ask your reporters who normally enter our campuses and see what we have in those schools. I commend ASU at the time just because, if not because of test fund. Our Congress held in Sokoto State University. Most of the university today, particularly Federal University, 100% of their projects funded by TED Fund. Go to government, state-owned universities, you discover that the majority of the building there are dilapidating. Our laboratory is not well equipped. But with this fund, a lot of things will be put in place. And we also believe, you go to some university, you even ask yourself, is it a university or advanced university?
All right, comrade, one of the issues that I also hope...
Funding of education.
There are so many things that, and I wish we had more time to take you up on some of those issues, how those things directly affect Nigerian students, not just the university infrastructure. But then this call that you are making, that students should go and block places, how do you plan to manage it so it doesn't get out of hand? Remember that, every time when youths don't have the kind of, guidance or whatever it is that they need things might get out of hand. How do you intend to manage it in a way that it doesn't get out of hand and that those who are not Nigerian students per se do not hijack the process?
Thank you so much. This is a union that has a leadership. And we have our leadership across all the 36 states, including FCT. That is what we call Joint Campus Council, has been reviewed by our constitution. And we have 6 zonal structure now, which we have leadership in those 6 zonal structure. And we also have national leadership. I have confidence in all these structures that I've mentioned in support of the SUG president, with the support of all our sister union, NAUS, NASES, and NAPS. These are unions that I believe they are going to join us in coordinating this struggle. It's going to be a well-coordinated struggle. I can assure you of that. It's a struggle that we need to just tell the government that we are not happy. We need to show our grievances to the government. Look at those students that you have interviewed so far. I was watching some TV station interview students. They are lamenting. Students are not happy. Students are, they are so disappointed by this strike because it's unexpected from Nigerian students. Just coming into school, just resuming back to school, hoping that 2022 is going to be free. And we are going to have whatever we are going to do from the January to December, you can cover up. Those I want to imagine as a postgraduate student, I'm spending over 2 years now, close to 2 years now.
My time on this, comrade.
2020,
pardon me.
2019, 2020.
Right.
That's my matric as a postgraduate student.
Okay, comrade, we're totally out of time.
You
but just if you can do this in 10 seconds, pardon me, would you also ask that you be a part of this negotiation? Because I know that has been a conversation. Would you want to be a part of this negotiation as well?
Thank you so much. That is what I said. Both the ASU and the federal government, they should be able to know that we are a critical stakeholders in this sector. Whatever anything the ASU is asking for, like I have told you, 50% of 30 is for the benefit of Nigerian students. The student that you are fighting for should be involved in your negotiation. The federal government, who are also the second parent, should also know that Nigerian students, they have leadership. They should be part of the negotiation. Look at the meeting held yesterday. We were not called to that meeting. And that is why I told you earlier what we read on social media. My conversation with you will have been this and this what we discussed in the meeting yesterday.
Well,
and
we'll see how this...
able to say now today that hopefully, or telling Nigerian students that they should keep calm.
Well, we'll see how this will be taken on board.
We are in darkness.
As I said earlier, we're totally out of time. It's a very sad thing playing out in the tertiary education sector. But we'd like to thank you so much, Comrade Sunday Asefon, who is the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, joining us from our Abuja studio. We wish you the very best, and we hope this does not linger any longer. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, we'll go on a break now, and when we return, we'll pay our attention to something that has been in the news for a while. It's a big one, so don't go away.